hope you get so mad you go back to the basics. I hope you go on a run and trip on your laces. It was big, man. At your crew didn't think that they would get mad. Okay. Oh, alright. Alright, I got my lyrics ready, I'm sorry about that. Back in the day, me and Shorty had a thing. We was going on some dates, even talking about a ring. Said that she was only mine, I was sharing with the team. So I cut off all the ties, now she wanna care for me. Rolling with my people, yeah, they always on my heel. I got big plans to keep me up, moving on a deal. Try to get involved, get in front of me, you'll get the steal. Can't let them see me mad, I gotta keep it chill. Sorry Shorty, you can't be my yellow, you too blue. I can't be with a girl that been messing with the whole crew. I got too many people that telling me how you move. I didn't listen, now I hurt myself thinking you wouldn't do. She don't wanna see me happy, I don't understand. I don't wanna see her laughing with another man. How could you just do this to me? Why did you do that?
His shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really.
Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks? You mean Shenanigans? Oh! You're talking about Shenanigans, right? Put those...
What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Shenanigans. Thank you for stopping by. Let me say what's up to the chat real quick. Dave D in the house. What's going on? Shaman is actually backstage. We got Shaman here today. Soul Train. What's up? What's up? JR. Steve the Canadian. Just to make sure the stream lasts longer than 14 minutes. The moon's real. The moon is real. Always waiting. That is really Chaka dancing. Yes, it is. Shaman Luther King, because he's a boss. JR in the house. So today we're talking about lies, deception. Really good video that Shaman sent me, and I pretty much went down the rabbit hole, and it's very fucking interesting. Very interesting. Let me pull Shaman up real quick. What up? What up?
What is going on?
Chilling, man.
I'll tell you, you gotta watch out for those rabbit holes. But I'll show you to them, but you have to go down them.
Yes, and I went down this one. So this video that Shaman sent me, it's called the most eye-opening 40 minutes of your life, part 1, and it's like a deep dive into. I even took notes of like lies and deception, stuff like that throughout the years, right? And this talks a little bit about the Bible. It talks a little bit about how in this video they believe that sound is the creation of everything. It talks about the galaxy is surrounded by water, and that brought last week Steve said the galaxy is Steve or JR said the galaxy is full of water, and this talks about that. And then I actually seen some, what they meant. It was pretty interesting. Also talks about this thing called quantum locking, which is awesome. We'll get to it, but it's really cool, man. So how did you stumble across this video?
That's just I'm subscribed to them or whatever, so I'll get them in my feed all the time because I like stuff like this. This is what Shaman likes to really get into in his free time, I guess you could say.
Soul says, kind of funny that a PFP sent you something about deception, right?
I'm actually feeling deceived myself because when you pointed out that it was Shaman Luther King in the chat, like I must have hit the wrong Gmail account. That's why it made me go through all those extra steps because I thought it was my regular. I was like, what the hell? And then I'm all confused and shit. That's why the PFP is different. All that. Anyways,
Oh, really? So you clicked on the wrong account?
Yeah, like to connect YouTube. Like, yeah, because that's through StreamYard that's writing. So I typed that through StreamYard, and all of a sudden it comes up Shaman Luther King, and I didn't even notice it. So I'm feeling really deceived right now.
So in this, I guess, documentary, it really isn't a documentary. It's just a video that this guy put together, talking about all these different things. It starts off talking about, well, the name's spelled Michael, but he pronounces it Michal Ledwith. And this dude is the Vatican advisor for 17 years. So he advises the Pope. He's like a walking encyclopedia. He very, very smart guy. And he found out that the opening text of the Bible, the original Hebrew text, the opening text was messed with right here, the Michal Ledwith. And that's how this video starts off. It's pretty interesting. And it goes into more depth of the old Hebrew and how like the words, when they start off a sentence, they can't start out. They have to start off with a B, and so they changed it throughout the history.
Or no, I think it has to start with an A.
Oh,
right?
Is it A?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, it was an A,
and that's how they knew it was wrong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that changed, and it doesn't really get into religion a whole lot. So this is like, don't think this is a religious thing. It's just
it's the deception. That's
yeah.
What it's about.
Yeah, it's more about deception. Because he's talking about how the Bible was changed, nothing to do with religion, but and that's not talked about like in the educational system now. A lot of this stuff isn't talked about in the educational system. He also goes on talking about there's 3 big lies that they don't talk about in the educational system that they're being lied to. The first one is that humans evolved from apes, and then he talks about nothing is faster than the speed of light, and energy can't be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. So those 3 things, he says, is the biggest lies in the educational system. And then he also, because he says in the theory of evolution is just that. It's the theory with no scientific proof to back it up. Very interesting. If you guys haven't watched this yet, it's really good. And he also gets in. He talks about all the bogus information put in our history books to remove us from what he thinks is the creator, like trying to deceive us, misdirect us. That was really good.
And I believe that. I do believe that we are being deceived to be misled from like our true power.
Yeah. So I got a couple. The one thing that I really thought was badass about this was that when he explains how sound is this tripped me out. The whole sound thing, how sound is the creation of a lot of stuff, but then he explains it and it's like right there.
So something that's cool on that note, if you look up, I believe it's sonoluminescence, and that is basically, sound, light sound or whatever, light from sound. Mm-hmm. But like if you take like a bubble, right? Like they took this tube of water or whatever, and it had a bubble in it, and they shot like sound waves to it, and it eventually caused like the bubble to implode on itself, and then created a small light that was flickering. It looked very similar to a star.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'll find that and end up sending that to you.
So last week, I don't remember if it was JR or Steve, but they were saying that the galaxy is full of water.
I agree.
This is what they were talking about. The Kuiper Belt. It's trillions of ice objects. The Kuiper Belt around our galaxy. This is what it looks like right here, the Kuiper Belt. But also, the Kuiper Belt around our galaxy is also surrounded by a giant cloud of ice. And that's called the Oort cloud. So that's what this is. It's a trip. So Steve was actually, if you believe this, Steve was actually, I feel what you were saying now. So they're saying that the Kuiper Belt is inside the Oort cloud. Pretty crazy. Michael Mabry in the chat. What's going on, man? Was it you, JR? Okay, cool. Keeper. Oh, okay, so that's how you say it, like keeper belt.
Kuiper.
Hyper.
I think it's Kuiper. I've heard Kuiper, but reading it, I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was the Kuiper belt. But that looks nothing like Kuiper to me. Can anybody tell us who's right on that? Yes, Shaman. Okay, it's the Kuiper belt.
So this right here is the little clip I wanted to play. So this is they're talking about sound. I feel like I fucking did homework on this. Like Shaman gave me an assignment and I went and did some homework. So this is talking about sound and resonance. This is where it starts to get really interesting for me. And just check it out. So this one's only a couple minute long clip. That's 5 minutes. Let's check out 5 minutes of this real quick.
The common links of creation. Modern science
Can you guys hear it? Yeah.
tells us that we live in an electromagnetic universe. Everything spins and vibrates. I'd like to correct that. I'd like to say that it's not an electromagnetic universe, it's a magneto-electric universe. It's a very big difference between the two. And again, it's a small little subtlety, but it's a very important subtlety, because magnetism is a thing that rules the universe, not electricity. Sound, magneticism, electricity. And you'll see how this chain reaction causes everything that we observe when we look up at the night sky or the nature around us.
So what he's going to get into is he's talking about sound is the creation of everything. This is where he gets into that part.
Everything in creation spins and vibrates. Everything has its own prime resonance frequency. Everything. And this is why once we can identify a prime resonance frequency of a bacterium or an atom or whatever it is, or a soccer field, we can then manipulate that object with its prime resonance frequency. In Christianity, it's the word. In Hinduism, it's Om. The Egyptians believed the universe was sung into creation, and the original people of Australia, not the Aboriginal, forgot to take the ab out. They're not abnormal. The original people of Australia. It's a twist on words there, remember? Keep that in mind. So it's the original people of Australia believe that the world was created with 3 sacred songs. And then we have the phenomenal similarities between the 6 days of creation in Christianity and the word that created everything, the 6 aspects of Om, and the 6 aspects of the all-seeing eye of Horus. And you start seeing the connections between all these ancient cultures and the creation stories. And then the creation stories get even more interesting when you read the Hindu creation story. It says, everything was so peaceful and silent that Vishnu slept undisturbed by dreams or motion. From the depths, a humming sound began to tremble. It grew and spread, filling the emptiness and throbbing with energy. The night had ended. Vishnu awoke. That's just a little more dramatic version of saying God said, let there be light. Sound is a source of all creation. Sound and resonance is responsible for everything. It is the breath of the creator, the prime resonance frequency, and the source code for everything in creation, including our DNA. This is from Dan Winter's brilliant documentaries and work on the DNA and sound and resonance. I would recommend you check out Dan Winter's work on that as well, how cymatics and sound helps to form and shape our DNA and the structure of our DNA based on the cymatics. And that word cymatics, it comes from Hans Jenny in the 50s and 60s, the brilliant work that he did and showed us how sound and resonance is responsible for everything in creation. By now, you should know that sound manifests physical form, and this is the most basic example.
This is a trip right here when it starts making the different shapes, how different frequencies make different shapes.
Frequency has its own specific shape, the prime resonance frequency. Are you only looking at a 2-dimensional representation of a 3-dimensional effect? And this is just in the spectrum that we can hear. You can imagine in the low frequencies we can't hear, it has the same effect. The higher the frequency, the more complex the shapes. The lower the frequency, the more basic and the larger the shapes. Okay, so the original people of Australia have a creation story that says time began when the supernatural beings awoke and broke through the surface of the earth. So imagine the surface of the earth being something like this, that metal plate being the surface of the earth, and the supernatural beings broke through the surface of the earth, and they created the surface of the earth with 3 sacred songs. This is from Hans Jenny's brilliant video, Cymatics. This is powder on a metal plate. It's not a liquid or a jelly, it's powder. You can see landscapes being formed here over extended periods of time. Mountains can form, valleys, volcanoes.
Dude, did you see that? Looked like a little map right there, and it was just powder and the sound creating all that stuff.
So like and I think you were alluding to this earlier. I think you tried to set me up for the answer, but this kind of stuff right here is what made me like spiritual and get more into like shaman, right?
Yeah.
So like learning the sciences behind this like brought me to like the spiritual aspect of it, because it is when you read the Bible and you know what it means when it says certain things, or when you read a different holy book and you can depict it, you get different information from it. So it's like I don't pick any kind of religion or anything. It's all about like this kind of truth, you know what I mean, like what's really going on.
And this is stuff that they don't talk about this in school. They should do class. I mean, I'm sure maybe they have college classes, maybe probably on this, but like I'm talking about public school, high school. They don't talk about stuff like this.
Hell no.
Like I was even talking to Zeke earlier today, and he's interested in this. He really liked it, so he's going to be looking more into stuff like this.
Gotta keep waking people up.
Yeah, so that was a trip. How that started creating like the sound created, and that was just powder. That it looked like it was a little map. It was, you can see the mountains, you can see all that stuff.
Sound has a crazy effect on water too, because water has like a memory, and it's almost like little crystals.
In
the video.
Is it in this video? I wonder.
I don't think it talks about it in this one. If I remember, I don't think it does. I tried to do an episode on our stream about it, and we couldn't get everybody to be quiet long enough, so it just didn't happen. But if you go back and look at my stream, that has it's basically just water on the front for the thumbnail. That's what it was supposed to be about, was how like sound and intention and emotions and stuff like that affects water. And then you're 70-80% water, so what kind of effect does that have on you?
Yeah. Michael Mabry says, I've been a musician for decades, and I know each note makes a person feel a certain way. And I remember I was going to have this guy on YouTube that Shaman knew. He played some kind of instrument. I want to say flute.
Buddha Alpha, yeah.
Oh, okay, it was Buddha Alpha. That didn't work out, but Shaman told me that there was a certain frequency, and I remember this, that calms a person down or something like that. And it was do you remember what it was, like the megahertz or something like that?
Well, I mean, like the two, I would say, like big frequencies you'll hear most about is 432 hertz and 528 hertz.
Yeah, you said something about that, and that's when I asked. I was like, "What the hell is that?" And then you kind of told me, and I was like, "Oh."
And when if you have problems sleeping and stuff, I highly recommend. It's better with headphones, but I mean, even if you just put on some speakers, but you put on like some frequency kind of music, and it's like meditation music kind of thing. But it has these frequencies, and if you just lay down and try to like focus on your breathing, you'll be out within like a minute or so, 2 minutes.
That's crazy. JR said 738 hertz.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of, there's like 963, and that's what I mean. There's so many different ones. But there's the solfeggio or something like that, solfeggia. But there's like these certain ones that they've identified over the years and stuff like that.
Binaural beats, different notes in each ear. Ghost, what's going on, man? He says he listens to rain and melatonin.
Yeah, 528 is the frequency of the earth. And then you have like the Schumann resonance. And then like lightning, like it strikes the ground. Shit, I'm gonna get this wrong, but it helps like something.
So lightning, this also too, we'll get to it, but in here it has a great Nikola Tesla talking the lightning and the sound. It's great. This is a really good a really good video. So right now it's going to talk about how how our thoughts and mind is being controlled by sound and frequencies. This is about it's about a minute long.
Shows us that they weren't only controlling our thoughts and our minds with sound and frequency and magnetics in ancient times, but we've been doing it for ages now. There's your all-seeing eye of Horus. There's your half of that weird wristwatch with the 6 cones facing the middle, all controlling us with sound and frequency. And this brings us to using sound as a tool in technology. Sound creates light. It's very obvious. We know that God said, let there be light, and you can do this yourself by attaching a speaker to an LED light and see what happens. The medicine wheel is a cross in a circle that represents sound, that primordial source of sound, that shows that the Native American healers knew that sound could cure and could heal. This is a Sumerian seal that represents sound, and also this is where the swastika has its origin, in sound and resonance. Royal Raymond Rife, you should know by now, that cured with the man that found the cure for all disease with sound and resonance. It would convert.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can get taken down for talking about Rife.
And then right here, he talks about how sound, this guy that he's getting ready to talk about, I guess, allegedly found the cure for cancer and a bunch of different illnesses using sound.
This is for your entertainment, YouTube, for your entertainment.
Yeah, just for your, it's all, we're just reacting to this video. We're just reacting to it.
We don't believe none of this shit. It's all bullshit.
So this is about 3 minutes for this video. This is where he's talking about the cure for cancer and different stuff like that.
To electric impulses, and in a library in Sedona is his handwritten manuscript that you can read all his handwritten frequencies that he wrote down for all the disease. This is all the different cancers. This is for diphtheria. This is for tuberculosis. Lakovsky, the multiple wave oscillator, that has got an incredible record of curing all kinds of diseases, including cancers. And more recently, Anthony Holland, who in a TED talk in 2011 shows how he cures cancer with sound frequencies. And since then, we've not heard anything of him. He's sort of disappeared.
These are the first videos taken. We showed these videos to our friends in the biology department. They said they hadn't seen anything quite like it. Seems to be a new phenomenon. These organisms are being shattered by our electronic signals. This is a harmless organism, almost friendly, a little blepharisma. And normally they're very fast swimmers, but when you approach a frequency to which they are vulnerable, they begin to slow down, then they stop, and then they begin to disintegrate within about 3 minutes. So first we attack pancreatic cancer. Take a good look at this slide, because the next one will look quite different. After we treat these cells, they change their shape and size, and they begin to grow long, rope-like structures out the sides. They look something like antennas. I call them bioantennas for biological antennas. It's as if the cancer cells are trying to tune into our signal. We now know that cancer is vulnerable between the frequencies of 100,000 hertz and 300,000 hertz. So now we attack leukemia cells. Leukemia cell number 1 tries to grow a copy of itself, but the new cell is shattered into dozens of fragments and scattered across the slide. Leukemia cell number 2 then hyperinflates and also dies. Leukemia cell number 3 then tries to make another cancer cell. The new cell is shattered and the original cell dies.
I think
That's crazy. And now that he said that the dude just disappeared, like all that research is gone.
So check this out, right? And I guess shout out to this guy. I think it's Matt Rife on X, and he's really into this and says he has Rife machines and stuff like that. But think about this, right? So sound heals and all this other stuff. And then you think about the old cathedrals, like the real old school, like Notre Dame and all that. And they have these beautiful, intricate organs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And half of them don't work anymore. And then half of them, they just don't use the same tubes that they used to use. So it's not really the same shit. But I think you used to go to church and they would play their hymns or whatever. And then the shapes of the windows and everything like that with the light coming in and all kinds of other shit. I think they were actually like hospitals. Like you go in there to get healed. Like you really went in there to get healed. You were blind, you can go to church and get healed kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See, then it all kind of makes sense where maybe it came from. We're just not actually using the right technology, if you want to call it that. And magnetron, there you go, in a microwave. You see that shit?
Yeah, this dude is boiling water with sound.
But that's
what they just showed.
That magnetron is the thing that's in your microwave. Yeah, there he's talking about. There you go. It's fucking microwave, guys. And by the way, don't stand in front of your microwave. You're actually not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to stand there and wait for your burrito to heat up?
No, bro. Stop sitting there looking at it. You're frying your brain more than the burrito.
You're not supposed to sit there and watch your popcorn pop.
Actually, you're supposed to wait like a minute and a half or 2 minutes or something before you even touch your food after it's in the microwave. It's some weird shit. I'm telling you, read the owner's manual.
See the manual. So this right here is something
that's crazy shit.
This is a crazy one. These students made a fire extinguisher that extinguishes the fire just using sound. So this is what I was going to play here. This is probably about maybe like a minute long clip, but this is badass. And this isn't being used. I can see this being used now with the firefighters in the real world.
Here in the USA that created a sound fire extinguisher. And this is years ago. You would have thought by now the fire brigades would be using it everywhere.
Exactly. This was years ago. And I've never even heard of this shit.
We're both graduating from the electrical and computer engineering department at George Mason University this coming May. We're here. We're just going to test out our device that we use that uses sound frequencies to extinguish flames.
I see this device being applied to a lot of things. First off, I think in the kitchen, it could be on top of a stovetop. But eventually, I'd like to see this applied to maybe swarm robotics where it'd be attached to a drone. And that would be applied to forest fires or even building fires where you wouldn't want to sacrifice human life.
Professor Brian Mark really stepped in to help us.
Just gave us a lot of support.
I think as a whole, engineering is really just finding solutions finding simple solutions to complicated problems.
Sound creates volcanoes. Imagine the Earth is.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
I just sent you two things on TikTok. One is the sonoluminescence, and then one is about regrowing teeth.
About what? Regrowing teeth?
Yeah, using frequencies.
Oh, no shit.
And this is real stuff. It's real. This is like the stuff I'm sending is like, I mean, it's not just some woo-woo guy on YouTube like us discussing some shit.
Yeah.
This is real stuff. So
I think it's gonna get into talking about the Nikola Tesla and you know, how he believes the secrets of the universe is all found from energy, frequency, vibrations, and stuff like that.
369, baby.
Mm-hmm. It's at 25 for 6. Let me see. And I don't know if he's saying this right, the way he explains this, because it talks about Nikola Tesla and what Nikola Tesla believes, and then it talks about what Einstein believes about electrons, and it sounds like Einstein was like, I don't know what they are, and then Nikola Tesla's like explains it.
By now, if you don't know him yet, I suggest you go and do some research into this guy's work.
Love the haircut.
He says, if you want to find out the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. That's exactly what I've been sharing with you here. Here is a picture of an electron. There's a picture taken about a decade ago. They tell us that this is a light beam or electron riding a light beam. Can you see a particle anywhere in this picture? No, there's no particle. They're resonant waves, and yet they tell us it's an electron. Can you see how we get brainwashed? So this is what Nikola Tesla has to say about the electron from an interview in 1928. On the whole subject of matter, in fact, Dr. Tesla holds the view that are startlingly original. He disagrees with the concept of atomic theory of matter and does not believe in the existence of an electron as pictured by science. This is a shock to the system. And you start seeing an agenda being developed here, an agenda being developed by mainstream universities, the mainstream scientific fraternity, under the guidance of those that are trying to lie to us.
We freeze up here?
Man, I'm telling you, bro, you got to watch out. I don't know how that channel gets away with playing it.
Did we get our? Did I get taken down again?
Nah, you're up. I'm watching it. I got it. I got it on screen this time, just so I know what's going on.
Okay, so my StreamYard froze.
Is that what happened last time? Your StreamYard froze and everything else went?
Yeah, so I'm gonna jump off and jump back on. Give me 1 second, all right?
All right, guys.
I'll be right back.
Welcome to Shaman Shenanigans. But yeah, that sound stuff, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Everything's got to be sound, but everything definitely has a frequency. There's this one guy, I forget his name at the moment, but he apparently figured this out and was able to use different frequencies to like melt metal and bend things and make whatever he wanted levitate. And this was on film and all kinds of stuff like that. But of course, you know, this is all hidden, hard to find. And they did a big purge in 2020. Man, when that virus came out, they hit the social media thing and they got rid of all the good conspiracy people. Like everybody that I used to watch got taken down. So it's even harder than it used to be to find a lot of this shit. Not necessarily the stuff in this video, but when you get into like the nitty gritty of what they're talking about, like deep dive on each thing. Go ahead.
So there's about 30 more seconds probably on the Nikola Tesla part right here.
And make us believe things that are not so. This is what Einstein has to say about the electrons. In the theoretical treatment of these electrons, we are faced with the difficulty that electrodynamic theory itself is
just checking. Can you hear the audio, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good.
Unable to give an account of their nature. For since electrical masses constituting the electron would necessarily be scattered under the influence of their mutual repulsion unless there are forces of another kind operating between them, the nature of which has hitherto remained obscure to us. So he says he sort of, you know, he doesn't quite understand how electrons come into being.
He could have just wrote IDK. You know what I mean? He could have just put IDK. That's all he had to say.
That was Albert Einstein's way of saying, I don't know. that long ass explanation. He's like, I don't know. I don't know what electrons are.
Is that Coral Castle? Yes, sir. You know about Coral Castle, right?
No. But which one?
Yeah. So this old man cracked the fucking code and he made this whole place by himself. One man made this whole little castle thing out of big coral blocks.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, they didn't spend a whole lot of time on this one, so I didn't catch that part, I guess.
I forgot what half this video was. I remember it had stuff in it, but I forgot it went this deep on everything.
This is like a plethora of some pretty good information here. I guess it's in California. I don't know. Shit, I'll have to check it out.
Coral Castle's in Florida. South Florida, more towards Miami. So I haven't been yet. I'd like to go, but you know, Shaman has had other priorities.
Maybe Michael, you're probably thinking of Hearst Castle, maybe. I know,
but
that
it's crazy when you just see how like you've been lied to about everything for so long, and then it's like they go, "Oh, well, how's everybody in on it?" No, you don't understand how deep the lies go. I mean, think about this. This is back then. We can see traces of what's going on. And this is cool shit too, what they're showing right there. I wanted to get one of those mirrors or whatever, the little lights that shows you like the magnet. That's what those are, the waves of like the magnets. So if you put like a magnet in there, it shows you like those magnetic things. Like what it's showing you like that as a magnet, that's what you were just seeing in real life.
And this is where it's going to start getting into quantum locking, which is something that is this blows my mind right here. When you guys see how this works, it's pretty much quantum locking is locking whatever the object is in suspended, like it's levitating. But not only is it levitating, you can move it, and it'll stay the way that it's moved. It's pretty crazy stuff. It's coming up here in just a little bit.
Detective Michael Mabry over here. Look at that. Look at that. Oxygen is magnetic.
Oh, they said everything. That's another thing. There's so much in this video. This says everything is magnetic.
Because there's no gravity, okay? It's a theory of gravity, all right? Doesn't it make more sense that things are magnetic and some things are more magnetic than others? Because, like, how do gases, you know, are they really that light that they just fly away and shit? Or is it density? Does density have anything to do with it, or is it gravity? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
And right here, I should have played that part, but he was talking about how oxygen is even magnetic. He's pulling oxygen. It's a trip. So right here, they're gonna talk about this. This is the quantum locking.
Quantum locking is actually just a magnetic effect.
So what if we got here?
So we have quantum locking. The superconductor is locked in space, and it stays wherever I put it.
Look at this shit, man. So this object is hovering above that, but it locks in however he puts it.
You see, this is quantum trapping.
That's amazing.
As long as it's
so it's superconducting. It's frozen with liquid nitrogen.
Upside down.
Right.
and it stays locked.
So the fact that it's superconducting is locking the magnetic field in three
Yeah.
dimensions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you put it on the track for us?
Yeah. I just levitate it above the track quite high, and I can just rotate it.
So it's actually floating above the surface.
Yeah, it's not floating, it's locked above the surface.
So you could tilt it as an angle and it would fly around.
Like this, and it will just go around like this. I can just go and put it at a different height.
So magnetic fields do what? They do exactly what sound does. They create toroidal fields. If you do that,
You see how that thing was just floating there in the different. Can you imagine if they had an aircraft, made an aircraft that can do stuff like that can maneuver like that thing was floating?
this, you immediately see the toroidal fields being created by magnets around them, little toruses. And this is a full magnetic field, toroidal field spectrum. It's both positive and negative on both sides. There is no positive and negative in magnetic fields. This is where we've been incorrectly taught. It's actually just one field that work in opposite directions. It's centripetal forces that work against each other and oppose each other. And the complete toroidal field, like the toroidal magnetic field like this, has a both positive and a negative on both sides. So it both pushes and pulls from both sides. That's a complete magnetic toroid. It's not north on the one and south on the other. That's an incomplete magnetic field. This is very important information, people. And this connects us to some of the biggest lies we've been told about our reality and the world that we live in. It's the sound of the earth that creates a magnetic field, and not the molten iron core. There is no molten iron core in the center of the world. That's another theory that's being proposed, and most people believe it these days. It's a nonsensical idea. It's a sound of the earth that creates the magnetic fields around us. By now, you should know that sounds is the cause of everything, and especially magnetic fields. The problem with our world is that the Earth magnetic model is a half a magnetic model. It's north at the top and south at the bottom. That's not a complete magnetic field. And as far as I'm concerned, it's impossible for an Earth-like object to be in a complete magnetic field like the toroidal shape of our solar system and be an incomplete magnetic field itself. Can you see why I would say that? It doesn't make any sense. Our Earth is a half a magnetic field, an incomplete magnetic field, floating around in a complete magnetic field called our solar system. It would correct itself and over billions of years become a balanced toroidal magnetic field. How that would affect the shape of the Earth, I don't know. I'm going to let you figure that out. But this is what a complete and balanced toroidal magnetic.
That's his way of saying I'm a flat earther without saying I'm a flat earther.
Now there is something that kind of shows how that's possible, like where that would be in the toroidal field, right? So you can almost see where it makes some sense, but it's still so hard to believe. You know what I mean? It's like, but then when you look at the evidence, that you would say, I've seen this and I've seen that, and everything's some kind of CGI or, whatever, and you just, you can't believe in it. You can't believe what you've been told, so you got to figure it out yourself now.
And this is just, I put the StreamYard link in the chat. If Steve or Michael or anybody, you guys want to come up and join us, more than welcome. But this is just a little sample. This is just the beginning of the rabbit hole, man. You really go down there, like Steve said earlier. Oh, Chaka, you have so much to research, for real.
No, Chaka, I don't think you understand, bro. Each few minutes of this is its own rabbit hole that you need to go down.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna find more rabbit holes to go down when you go down those rabbit holes. Like
next time you see me, I'm gonna have a full-grown beard, fucking Cheeto marks all over my shirt.
Oh, we're gonna have Shaman Chaka.
I'm gonna be never gonna leave the house. He's stuck on the computer.
He's like day 57 of calling in to work.
No more job. I just went down the rabbit hole. Yeah, so Steve, Michael, if you guys want to jump up or anybody else wants to jump up, JR, more than welcome.
Yeah, Michael
Rose.
is like if I remember correctly, he's like a star nerd.
Oh, really?
And I mean that with respect, Michael. I don't mean that to make fun of you.
What does it say here? He says, heat is an illusion. The faster the atoms move, the hotter an atom is. Yeah. JR says, Fook work.
I could be mixing him up with somebody else, but I believe he loves I'll call it space science.
Well, he seems to know a lot about it. I can tell by the comments. What did you send something?
Yeah, on Twitter or TikTok. Usually I want to send it through there, but it was just easier. Maybe should I send it to your X? Should I send it to your X?
Because I don't have a TikTok on my computer. I only have it on my phone.
Hold up.
Thanks for the shout out there, Michael. Appreciate that. On X. Franco, what's going on, man?
Mr. Beans.
So we had a pretty cool stream so far where we're talking about this video. This video is called the most eye-opening 40 minutes of your life, and it has a lot of really interesting information talking about lies, deception throughout the years, stuff that's not being told or educated to anybody, kind of hidden.
It is. It's occult knowledge, man.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting stuff.
Same.
We went over how people found that the Bible was messed with. The first lines of the Bible was messed with. Talked about different. Hey, we got somebody in the background. Michael, what is up? Let me pull you up real quick. That the Bible was messed with. The first lines of the Bible was messed with. Talked about different. Welcome.
Michael, what's up? What's going on? Let me mute this other shit. What's up, man?
Chilling.
What's up?
What's up?
So what
yeah, man, this is my wheelhouse, dude. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, this is my thing, man. I have a degree in agriculture, but I have a minor in botany and astronomy. So like, this is my thing. I'm Moon Boy, dude. That's how I roll, son. So.
Yeah, I heard you. And if you guys didn't know, they just had their stream. And is this going on every Sunday? You guys stream every Sunday?
Yeah, tonight was our 6th episode. It's just more of a kind of chill and let everybody know what's going on with our business, Moon Boy Inc., and what we're doing with the metaverse and whatnot. But yeah, I appreciate the shout out. But yeah, dude, this is my nerd stuff right here, man. I love this thing. This type of stuff it's right up my alley. It's my wheelhouse, dude.
Yeah, I'm deep down this rabbit hole. I've been just ever since Shaman sent me this, I was like, oh crap, here we go.
So check this out, right? So like also we just found a new constellation or whatever. So we have a new zodiac sign. We found a new zodiac sign.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's like Ophiuchus or something like that. Did you hear about that?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Okay, but that changes everybody's sign up a little bit. Not me, because I was always who I am. But maybe you've changed. You guys need to recheck your zodiac based on that. But the point of this is that, we base our time on astrological cycles, correct?
Somewhat.
I mean, our days and stuff are guided by the sun, right? And like the months are guided by the moon, basically. We have moon cycles. So there's 13 moon cycles, and they're just figuring out that there's a 13th zodiac.
They should have already realized that, considering the months used to be 28 days. It was literally 4 weeks. And that's how they started breaking it down to begin with. And then when they started adding new months and this and that and blah, 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 and Julius Caesar and all that crap, you know.
Thanks for taking my fucking wind,
Oh, dude, my bad. Sorry. My bad, dude. My bad.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, I mean, but that's good though. I was leading it the right way. Then.
Dude, I tend to steal folks' thunder without even realizing it. I apologize, man. I'm sorry.
No,
It's
you're all
a
good.
habit.
You're all good. You're all good. It was if you the point of it was for it to be said, and not for me to say it. So,
Didn't we always have 13? Like JR said, did we always have 13? So is there 14 now?
We've always had 13, but they've
So now there's 14.
now they're saying it's a zodiac though. I guess now that's been added to the zodiac. Then maybe that's what it is.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking at the chart here. I was like, okay, there's nothing new here that I've seen.
They've always I guess the constellations have always been there, but the zodiac's based on the constellations. So
yeah.
Oh, now okay, I get it. I see what you're saying.
So once they went to 12 months instead of 13, because they used to do that in ancient times, it was 13 months. When they went to 12,
days. That's why February has 28, and then you got September, which is Sept, which is 7.
yeah, which 7. That's my birthday month. Like am I gonna steal your thunder if I tell them about Caesar?
Happy birthday! My birthday was Thursday. So,
oh, right on. We're real close. I'm gonna throw out some Caesar knowledge before he jumps into this right here. Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar. That's where we get the months July and August. And just so you know, if July and August weren't there, that's 2 extra months. September would be Sept. It would be the 7th month. October would be 8. It would be the 8th month. November is 9. You know Spanish, Chaka, or at least you know some people who know Spanish. Nov is 9, right? That's the prefix for 9, but it's the 11th month. That's because Julius and Augustus thought they were badass and wanted their own damn month. You know what I'm saying? So they added them.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
That's why I don't celebrate July or August. To me, those months don't exist.
Hey, look, my daughter's birthday is 4th of July, so I have to. That's a requirement for me, though.
Well, I always try to shoot them down with fireworks on the 4th of July. So
that's right. My daughter gets everybody in the country celebrates her birthday.
There you go.
JR says the new year is actually April 1st.
I believe that, and that's why it's April Fool's now.
That's the beginning of the year. That's the beginning when everything starts to grow.
Because they fooled everyone. It's a joke on everyone. Everybody goes April Fools, and it's like you're fooling yourself because it's Happy New Year, assholes.
That's right.
Yeah, I truly believe that.
I didn't mean to jump on here and take over some shit. Just go ahead.
No, dude, go ahead. We went through the whole video, so now it's like open panel.
With you, bro.
No, yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Watch whatever you want. I sent one at some point, Chaka. You need to go watch.
What link did you send me?
That
video. Did you send it on X?
It's like a 4.5-minute video about a guy putting a wire in the ground, and putting one in the air. You can do it with a helium balloon if you want. Just run a really thin copper wire up in the air, and you can hook both of them to an LED light, and it'll come on from Where did
you send it?
I put it in the chat here. I don't know if it pops up.
And I sent you those 2 videos on X too, by the way.
Okay, cool.
And also you can ground yourself. That's literally why they say go out and touch some grass. But you can also do it by like a grounding rod, right? Just like your house does. And you put that into like a little mat on your bed, even if like aluminum foil or something, or just run it up and down like a heater coil, right? And have it like under your sheet or something, and lay on that shit, and it's gonna actually it's gonna ground you, and
it releases your tension. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it helps with inflammation and all kinds of shit like that.
Do you think you can send me the link on X?
Yeah.
I can't get it on YouTube.
Fine.
Chinese New Year's in spring. That's why I can't get with like I said, I don't do one religion. I'm just into the knowledge that they have to provide. And all of them have knowledge to provide. You got to weed out and discern what information, you think has been manipulated or whatnot. And, go from there. And to me, everybody's book's been manipulated somehow. So
this is one of the videos that Shaman just sent me right here. This is the regrowing teeth one. So it says regrowing teeth using frequencies. It's about 2 minutes long. Just check this out real quick. See what this is about.
Sporting a toothless grin. It's a Canadian invention that not only plugs the gaps, but fills the holes with brand new pearly whites. CTV's Deborah Shirey explains.
Miller getting some time in Edmonds' spot, and Ryan Smith is down and hurt.
It was a jaw-dropping shot as Edmonton Oiler Ryan Smith takes a puck to the face, and yes, those are his teeth.
As quickly as possible for you.
It's too late for Smith's smile, but researchers at the University of Alberta could have a cure for future toothless hockey grins, an ultrasound device that regrows human teeth. Tariq Albiali was researching jaw growth in rabbits.
Accidentally, when I applied the ultrasound, I found the lower incisor grow.
Albiali is the first to try the treatment on humans. After 20 minutes a day, new teeth started to grow in a month.
With this device, we'll get these roots together, held them together, healing it together, and keep it forever.
Albiali's machine was too big, so he teamed up with nanotech expert Jai Chen, who scaled it down from this to this.
After you're using this treatment, then you can throw away. So this is like a one-time use for you, and you can put it on easily. What we're working on is more like a user-friendly.
Professors at the University of Alberta have already filed a patent for this invention. While it's obviously still in the prototype phase, scientists here are hopeful it could hit the market in as little as 2 years.
Would have a fantastic practical application.
More about using teeth than Oilers dentist Anthony Sneezewell. He says time is limited when it comes to saving teeth.
If we can get to the point where it doesn't matter because we can use this device, then it's going to improve situations where we can reimplant teeth and they'll be successful long term.
What if it works too good and everybody's teeth just gets giant?
Everybody gets Steve Harvey teeth.
Yeah, right. But look, I mean, that's some real shit right there. That's some real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And here we are, like that's real life, current as far as mainstream today. I mean, within the past 30 years, right? That's modern technology showing you that it can actually help with shit.
And this is the one you were talking about, the star in the jar?
Yeah, this is crazy. I watched the whole way longer special on this one.
So what is this? This is
it's basically they have water with bubbles in it and they shoot sound through the bubbles and the bubble implodes and creates light and sits there and it's just light that keeps flickering.
Are you talking about the thunderstorm generator?
No.
Oh shit, that's what that is, dude.
Check this out. Watch.
Let's check this out.
Play this shit.
And in the center, see a glowing blue-purple light, which could be seen with the unaided eye. It looked.
That's real footage right there. Oh man, maybe I should have looked at that clip better. They need to show it from further. Yeah, you see the tube it's in?
Bright light contained in a flask of liquid. This star in a jar is made when a sound wave is passed through a small bubble inside a flask of liquid. And this sound wave makes the bubble do something remarkable. First, it expands, then it collapses. And this collapse happens so violently that vapor molecules trapped inside the bubble slam together and heat up so much that the bubble gives off an incredible burst of heat and light, several thousand times a second, giving the appearance of a star.
Huh. I wonder on a bigger scale if that's what's going on in the waters above. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what that I think that what that sounds like is that's That's the beginnings. That's the heart of the what they're calling the thunderstorm generator. You can find them online now. But what it does is it's a thing they build, and they can attach it to the exhaust of a car, and it does that same thing right there in a certain part of the machine. But what it does is the air coming out of the exhaust, it turns it into straight oxygen. There's no CO2 in it, or at least it's so low you can't even, it doesn't even register on a meter. And you can huff it and get an oxygen high. They've tested all that. So like it's using that thing right there you just saw. It's badass. Thunderstorm generator. You should look that up. It was sick.
Wow, I'm gonna check that out right now. So the video that you just sent me, this is a high powering with atmospheric electricity. So this is it right
dude.
here.
It's hooking the ground to the air and putting a bulb in the middle, basically. Other shit right there, but that's what it does.
I've seen some people doing it with some trees too.
Let's check this out.
Generating power using atmospheric electricity. A hexacopter was used to lift one end of a wire high up into the air. Meanwhile, the other end of the wire was connected to a corona motor near the ground. Electricity then flowed through the wire and corona motor, making it turn. In this video, I'm going to explain how it works. Much of the following explanation is adapted from Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman's lecture on physics, a section called Electricity in the Atmosphere. For every meter you go up in the air, the voltage increases by around 100 volts, or we could say around 100 volts per yard. We can draw these voltage increases using what are called equipotential lines. Notice that the ground is negative and the sky is positive with respect to each other. According to Feynman, this extends upward to 50 kilometers, or 31 miles, where the air is very conductive. This is the case in fair weather. In stormy weather, like a thunderstorm, things are quite different, and I won't talk about that here. But if this voltage exists between your head and the ground, why don't you get a shock? The reason is that your body is a good enough electrical conductor that standing on the ground, you're basically a part of the ground. The equipotential lines would look like this. There's still effectively 0 volts between the top of your head and ground. Similar effects happen with trees, buildings, and so on. What about the electric current? A downward electrical current exists and consists of positive ions, molecules or clumps of matter that have a positive charge. These ions are moving slowly toward the ground. The current density from these ions is very small, around 10 microamps, or 10 picoamps, crossing each square meter or yard every second. So in any small area, there's not a lot of power. And that's the explanation about atmospheric electricity adapted from Feynman's lectures. To take advantage of this atmospheric electricity, we electrically connect one end of a wire to the ground and lift the other end up into the air. In our case, we got good results at around 120 meters, or 390 feet up. At 100 volts per meter, or 100 volts per yard, that's 12,000 volts between that height and the ground. But just as with you standing on the ground, the wire is an electrical conductor, and so is also at ground potential. Looking at the equipotential lines around the wire, that voltage of 12,000 volts exists between some distance away from the wire and the wire. You can see that the equipotential lines are closest together at the top of the wire. This means the attraction is strongest there, and electrons make their way upward in the wire. Let's look more closely at the top of the wire. We'd put 6 sharp points using sewing pins at the top of that wire. But for ease of illustration, I'll draw just one. Notice that because of the sharp shape at the point, the charges are crowded together at that point. Remember also that there are positively charged ions in the air. An electric field exists between the negative charges on the wire and the positive charges in the air. And we can represent that electric field by drawing lines between pairs of opposite charges. Notice that the electric field lines are closer together near the point, meaning the electric field is stronger there. It's strong enough to remove the negative electrons from the sharp point, where they neutralize positive ions. But due to the voltage, there are fresh positive ions moving downward and fresh negative charges coming up from the wire. We now have electricity flowing through the wire. The electric current in that electricity is very weak, though. We didn't measure it, but from my experience with electrostatics, I'd estimate it in the low microamps, or more likely even lower. That's not enough to turn an electromagnetic motor, one like you use in everyday life, but it is enough to turn an electrostatic motor, like this corona motor.
Or a light bulb.
It's a plastic cylinder surrounded by sharp-edged metal blades.
Now, will it just make a light bulb flash? Or does it
No,
stay on?
it comes on. It just comes on, and the best ones to use are the low voltage or the low wattage the LEDs, because they don't take as much. So you can turn on an LED light, and the higher up you go, the bigger bulb you can use.
Wow.
blades. Every second one of those blades
big
is
is your
connected
bulb,
to the
Chaka?
wire going up.
What's up?
How big is your bulb?
It's little, but it's bright. You see, you can see it from the moon.
It
Let's
shines
see,
bright, everybody.
the more, welcome back, man. You had some really good input the last stream. He says they're already using skyscrapers for this. WTC buildings did this.
Air blimps.
Hey,
Air blimps.
Yeah, you notice on those old buildings that have those pointed spires for no reason, but they're covered in copper and have been since hundreds of years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think that was used for?
Airships.
This
Powering
is
them.
crazy. Literally just atmospheric
Touch
electrical
one of those wires.
energies. That's
The charge is then pulled from the plastic cylinder through a gap between the edge of the blade and the cylinder. That leaves the cylinder with the same charge. And since like charges repel, a repulsion occurs that rotates the cylinder. The next blade is connected to earth ground and becomes negatively charged. And since opposite charges attract, it attracts the charged area of the cylinder. It then neutralizes that charged area by taking electrons from the ground. And that's how atmospheric electricity can power an electrostatic motor like a corona motor. Well, thanks for...
You know what trips me out about that is that over here where I'm at in California, our power is PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. My PG&E bill a couple months ago was $1,400 for PG&E. I have a
going on? What the hell?
No, just running the AC, not even low, but the prices went up. The rates went way up. And so I paid $1,400 for PG&E and shit like this. I mean, they wouldn't mass produce something like this because that would take, it's all about money. That would take these businesses.
Well, that's why they killed Tesla, man.
Yeah, that's exactly why they went with Edison instead of Tesla, because Edison wanted to sell it and he had a way to sell it. Tesla had a way to give it away for free, and they wasn't having that shit.
Mm-hmm. JR says time to go solar. Even on solar, my neighbors have solar. It's not, they're still getting charged by PG&E. I don't quite understand why, but they're still getting a bill.
Yeah, it only takes a part of their, it only gives them a small amount of the energy that they're using. And if that's a crazy ass power bill, if your power bill is $1,400 a month, dude, that's insane. So like even a little bit of power would cost a few $100s, you know?
Yeah, I actually when I was like, you guys got to come out and check my meter, see if someone's stealing my power, because this is crazy. And they just said no, the rates went up, and that's was all legit. So I was like, okay, no more AC. Fuck it, no more AC.
Hey, welcome to my world, buddy. Fuck the AC. Fuck the AC. I can't afford that shit, and I'm in Florida.
Like this is the first time I had the AC on all month. I turned it on today. It's feeling
dude, that's crazy. Like, and look, this is how crazy this is, Chaka and Shaman. It depends on where you live in the country. It gets 95 degrees here in the summer, right? Sometimes it hits 100 or a little bit more. And I'm in the southeast. I'm just a little bit north of Shaman. My power bill never gets above $150.
Wow, that's crazy.
Never, dude. If it gets above $150, I left something on somewhere.
Yeah,
you know, by accident all damn month. You know
what's funny about MK says, "Are you sure the kids aren't growing in the attic?" Now, when I called PG&E, they were kind of in a roundabout way
insinuating,
that I was growing. I was like, no, and they would just beat around the bush and ask questions. I was like, look, I am not doing anything but running an AC, and then they were like, no, you're growing something in your house.
You don't ever pull out your profession and be like, I'll have you know.
I did, and they still didn't believe me.
We ain't growing nothing but pools of sweat over here, son. What's wrong with you? That's craziness.
Steve says,
magnet on your meter. I heard it fucks it up. Just monitor it, make sure it's not going the wrong way.
They did come out and check the meter because I was like, there's something fucked up about this.
Listen, check it out, right? So the people ripping you off are gonna come check something out and be like, oh yeah, we done fucked up. Now we're gonna pay so that we can get less money from you every month. No, you know what? Checks out. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if your AC unit is just old and ground down and is pulling too much power and not putting enough cool air out, they'll be like, no, it's fine, because they just want your money.
So what frequency is that bike on right now?
So this is what Steve is working on right now. He says, I can't join the stream at the moment, but I'm going to send you the picture of this absolute shit show that he's building.
Is that a bicycle tire on the front?
It's a little bit of everything. What is this, Steve?
Chaka, didn't I tell you, Chaka, about the 440 hertz and the 432 hertz?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was also that. So now that this goes into the sound and shit, now you get it a little bit more about how it's not like a good frequency.
Oh, yeah.
Bit.
Well, one thing I want to throw on that is, as a musician, the standard frequency for tuning and everything is 440 hertz when you tune an instrument nowadays, and they made it a worldwide standard. But like if you use what they used to use, which was 432, which was, it doesn't sound good.
I like 432 hertz.
Well, if you're playing music tuned into, because you can get a tuner for an acoustic guitar and you can choose whether it's 432 or 440. 440 is standard for everyday music. If you put it on 432 and then play a song, dude, it smells like burnt hair sounds like, it sounds like burnt hair smells. Like it's something's funky about it. It just don't feel right. It gives you like a anxious feeling. And as a musician, I tried it. Everybody's like, do it. And I'm like, okay, but it literally made me anxious after playing guitar for an hour. And I was like, I got to turn it back. And I tuned it back up. I was like, yeah, okay, that's the shit.
Because you know what? Because you're used to that other frequency, and you're not sure how to use when you start coming out of that. But 440 is not. It's not a good frequency. 432 is the original.
Yeah, I remember that. But see, here one thing is, I know this. I ground myself at least 3 times a week for an hour in the yard. I literally leaned up against my hood and barefoot in the grass, and I make sure I dig in the dirt with my feet for at least an hour, because I know what it does. It's like therapy for me. So I get that.
I would urge you to, when you're grounding yourself, maybe even play some like 432 hertz music.
See what it does, dude. I'm down. I mean, I'll just take the acoustic out there and just jam for a little bit, because I'm gonna be out there for an hour anyway. It does get kind of boring. I'm just standing there listening to the damn birds and shit. So,
well, you don't want to take that away. You don't want to take that away too. Like, you want to be able to, I would say, relax and energize. You know.
Well, dude, playing guitar for me was relaxing. What were you saying, Chaka?
I remember in high school, or could have been middle school. We went to a science museum over here in Los Angeles, and there was a room that would play different frequencies, and one of the frequencies, I couldn't even hear it, but it made me feel sick.
Was it
just you couldn't even hear it. Like, you go to each room had a different frequency playing. Yeah. You push the button and then it would play. I pushed the button, didn't hear nothing, but it made me feel sick, like instantly sick. I was like, that's crazy. Thinking back, like all that was just from the sound.
Did you ever see any of that show called Whale Wars?
Mm-mm.
Where there was like Asian whalers going out, trying to kill whales, but then there were people out trying to stop them. Some of the people that were out trying to stop them and the other people, they had those sound machines to where they can focus it from their boat to the other guys, and it was such a low frequency that people would be puking from that far away because they directed it directly. Then they're just like, oh,
have those weapons. Yeah. Police have those weapons. Our police have those weapons.
Yeah. But dude, this was like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was amazed. I was like, they really whooping people's ass with sound across the ocean, like
That's
this
crazy.
bad.
And they don't teach this. They don't teach this stuff in school, man. How powerful sound is, and
well, because you know how easy it is for you to take the speakers in your car and go do some shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, this is exactly why your mirrors break. It's most of the time it's not from the vibration. It's not from the vibration, because all those mirrors in your car have a thing behind them to keep the vibration down.
It's a resonant frequency.
Yeah, it's like that girl singing, hitting that note, and that thing just going. It's the frequency, man.
And what were we talking about earlier? The thunder generator? Is that what you called it?
Thunderstorm generator.
Thunderstorm generator.
Yeah, that thing's badass. They're
But did you see? You know, the funny thing is though, is you see how that video briefly touched on how there is an actual scientific method to the flat Earth, right?
Real quick. It said that. Yeah, he kind of breezed through that.
Yeah,
one. He's like, I'll let you decide.
But that's why he touched on it and went right, because that's such a controversial topic, and it's like, right? I don't want this because once you say I believe in flat Earth, nobody believes in a fucking word you say.
Yeah,
Nobody thinks you're a fucking wacko and this and that and that. But the point is though, is that you shouldn't knock everybody for believing something different, because look at all the shit that you're learning today that is straight factual stuff, and a lot of it's been around for a long time, and you're just now finding out about it. Like, don't think you know everything because you learned it in school or because of whatever and this and that. If it's mainstream, and maybe you should question it. Just maybe. If something else comes up that makes some kind of sense, maybe you should question what you've learned.
Look, I would agree with what you said. Now, just because I don't agree with something that you might believe, such as like flat Earth or whatnot, I ain't downing you for it at all, because you know, you might call me a damn globy, whatever. I don't care. You know, I ain't into having some kind of damn drama. You know, believe what you want to believe. But yeah, this stuff is like, if it looks interesting and it looks like it might be something, you need to look into it. Whether it turns out to be fruitful or not, you need to check into it. That's what science is about, man.
You'll at least learn something along the way. But
yes, every day, learn something every day. Otherwise, your life is worthless.
And I'm not saying I think the Earth is flat. Once again, that's not what I'm saying.
I got
what
you.
I'm saying is I entertain the idea because I think it's possible. I can't barely fathom it, but it's not like I'm programmed to think it's still that there's space. I'm still trying to disprove space. If I can disprove space, then I'll think differently, right?
Yeah.
But that sonoluminescent shit, and then the waters above from the waters below kind of shit, that starts to get weird. So I'm still kind of interested in that and going down that rabbit hole. I just haven't really put much.
Yeah, look, see, one thing that I don't want to get too far into this because that would be a whole nother show, but the waters above and the waters below, this is my belief. It's not anybody else's unless they want to believe it and look into it. But my belief is what they were talking about is, first off, back in the day when they said that, the waters below, you can't really access them, okay? You can go into the water, but you still got to come up. All right.
Well, and there is water below the water.
Yes, there is. It's called heavy water. Trust me, I know. And the thing is, in the air, you can get up in the air, but you can't stay. So, like, to me, what I think they were referring to is metaphorically, there's waters down below that you can't live in, and there's waters up there that you can't live in. You can't get to most of these. You can't get to most of these. And that's what I thought. But that's just what's up, Brett?
What's going on?
But yeah, that's just an idea. You know, I'm a nerd. That's how it rolls.
We got the more over here in chat says, I don't agree with most flat earthers. No dome, no center North Pole, no Antarctica ice wall and stuff like that. But he said he or she said that he's been a flat earther for 8 years. Interesting. Interesting.
See what I mean?
Yeah, look, that doesn't mean they believe every little aspect of it. Because look, honestly, some of the aspects are they're more out there than space is out there. You know what I'm saying? But like some of it almost makes sense to me. But then there's always something that I find. But that's neither here nor there. That's my opinion.
But that's
I've told Shaman this before. I've had some really good debates with people that believe that the Earth was flat, and they hit me with some questions where I was like, "Wow, good fucking point." I had no clue, you know. And there's some good points out there.
Hey, my top ones right now that I try to get most people with at least, because I don't know what it is, but I know that they're lying to us because everybody believes Neil deGrasse Tyson on everything, right? He's Mr. Know-it-all. And he himself says the Earth is more pear-shaped, right? It's oblong.
Yeah.
All right. Now, look at your iPhone. What kind of Earth does that look like? Does that look like a pear? Go in every school, every globe you've been shown in your whole life. Does that look like a pear? Is there anything that's not spherical about that? Like perfectly?
No, they make them perfectly sphere. Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
So then we know that the depiction of Earth that we think of and the one that we've seen from space, remember, the Earth we've seen from the moon has been a perfect fucking sphere, right? So now we know that that's all lies.
Well, check it out.
Neil
Check it out. I
deGrasse
feel
Tyson
you on
doesn't
that.
know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, well, check. I agree with a lot of what you just said, but here, check this out. Okay, when you say it's pear shaped, and this is what I know from my astronomy, schooling. Okay, and I've looked into it myself. It's not just what I learned in the books. Okay, the fat part of the Earth is only 20 miles difference than the other part. But if the entire Earth is thousands of miles difference, when you're looking at it from afar, how really can you notice that 20-mile difference versus thousands of miles? Like that one little difference, it's kind of still going to look like a sphere, right? If you zoom out, it could be 20 miles thicker at the bottom, but you can't tell that's that girl's hips. You know what I'm saying?
We've seen the Earth from the moon. We've seen the Earth from the Hubble telescope going far away out of our shit.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, we've never had a picture of Earth that's not a perfect sphere.
I mean, it does look like it. All I'm saying is that the fat part of the Earth that they're talking about is the pear part. It's not much bigger than the other part, so it's hard to tell from a distance. I
think it'd be easy enough to tell that it's not a perfect sphere.
Well, yeah. Also, it also depends on what angle you're looking at. Because if you're looking at it from the top, for example, it looks just like a perfect circle. But if you're looking at it from perfectly on the side, and you go to measure it with an accurate measuring tool, you'll see it. You'll notice.
The good news is when you go on like Google Earth, that's a perfect sphere as well. And then also, if you look at the path of the space station that it takes, there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to observe some kind of measurable, change.
That's what I'm saying.
That would show improve that pear shape. So,
well, that's the thing. Like they've taken the measurements from there. Like go to NASA. They've got the actual studies about how they took the measurements, and they can tell through the measurements. But they're using such intricate devices that they can tell super small, little things. So like if you remember that, those little Chinese balls that you put in your hand, the silver ones that you roll around to keep yourself kind of calm, and they got bells in them.
No, I'm playing with them right now.
Wrong one. Well, see, look, those are perfect spheres, right? But if you look at them under a microscope, they are pitted and they look like the moon.
No, that difference is too drastic of a difference to be comparable. Yes, you're right, but
you're looking at a 20-mile difference on a 10,000 wide circle.
And I need if we're gonna say 20 miles, then we need to pull up facts and make sure that that's what it is. It's 20 miles because
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm all about facts, but I am estimating. So, but yeah, I get you.
And that's what I'm saying. Trust me. I get things wrong from time to time, but that's going to be a part of the argument that is kind of big on how you debate it. You know what I mean? Is how far that actually is.
Well, I think what it is,
getting some feedback from the ghost
difference. Like the equator is 11 miles difference on each side, so a 22-mile difference compared to circle around the north and south pole going this way. I can't remember what it's called. The polar equatorial circle is 11 miles shorter than the equator circle.
Yeah.
So something like that. 22, I think.
I wanted to check out this thunderstorm generator video. There's a couple minutes left. I want to check this out real quick if you guys don't mind.
Oh, of course.
Okay, get to hit that like and subscribe button.
That was a thunderstorm generator right there, son.
Required for best results. First, we need a pre-ionization chamber, a chamber filled with light from a bulb that a wizard enjoys. This can be a capped tube with holes drilled in the top and the bottom. You will need inlet holes also drilled into the top. The bottom hole is typically used for a copper pipe to feed to the next part. That part is referred to as the plasmoid generator, a sealed tube containing pure water, an aquarium stone, and stainless steel wool. This is for shearing the plasmoids, making them smaller and collapse. Another copper pipe will connect the plasmoid generator to the final part, the catalytic tornado resonator. This is where the magic happens. This final part is a sphere within a sphere within a sphere. There are two sides to this final part. Think hot and cold, plus and minus, clockwise and counterclockwise. The resonator is where the vortex is formed. Vortexes are known to make adjustments to time, space, energy, and matter. The hot side of the resonator should connect to the engine's exhaust, and the copper pipe can connect to the plasmoid generator to the cold side of the resonator. For best results, the system needs to be a sealed vacuum from intake to exhaust. Think of the engine as an air piston. This retrofit aims to clean up the energy waste of technology. Feel free to comment below if you want to fill in any of the gaps I left.
I know I've seen that before. Right when you started playing it, I was like, wait, this looks familiar. Hold on a second.
Yeah, so what basically happens is when it goes, the exhaust goes through that whole machine that they built, because that machine just attaches to the exhaust, right? That's all it does. So when it goes, the exhaust comes through that machine, it makes those micro bubbles so small that when they collapse, they create light. It's a bubble in water collapses and it creates light. The way that does all that is too much to explain here, but what basically happens is it turns all the air inside of there. It nukes it basically and breaks it down into its like original parts. So if you have like carbon dioxide, it will break it down into carbon and oxygen. It sends the carbon into another part, which just gets stuck on the metal that you got to clean out, like black carbon stuff, and then oxygen comes out the tailpipe, 100% oxygen.
Wow. You got some feedback, Ghost.
Hit your mute button, man.
Gotta hit your mute. And the more says, yeah, globe is relevant as the Earth is flat but works like a cylinder. Supernatural. Who knew? This is Einstein's work. It's not the physical Earth that bends, but space-time that bends and warps gravity.
Yeah.
You need to jump up here, the more. Whenever, if you ever want to, just let me know. I'll send you a link. Well, fellas, I'm already 28 minutes over. I appreciate you guys for jumping on here. This is very interesting. I like streams like this. I think I'm going to do a lot more of stuff like this, and you guys are always welcome to jump on. Anybody in the chat, if you're interested, Steve, if you ever get free time, you can always jump on. You guys are always more than welcome. He says, "Sure, drop the Discord. Great combos." I don't have a Discord. Well, I have my Discord, but you can follow me on X, or if in the description of this video has all my socials. Feel free to follow me, message me, and we'll stay in contact, dude. And I'll get you up on stream and have some conversation.
Might have to do some Sunday science shenanigans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Sunday science shenanigans.
Heck yeah, man.
I'm down.
Right
After Moon Boy. That's what I'm talking about. We good.
Let's do it. Hey, so before we head out, though, I guess we can start off with Michael up top. Any last words?
No, man. Learn something new every single day. Go check out Moonboy and Moonboy Inc. and everything we have to offer, and hit the like and subscribe every time you see Chaka. Rock on, guys.
Nice. Ghost, you got anything?
Science, man, you can never go wrong. We're always learning, and the government's always hiding shit from us. So all we can do is self-teach ourselves.
That's right.
And Shaman.
Hold on, let me think of something corny.
That's it. You get it. Good job. That was it.
Yeah, everybody, just remember to follow your heart when you're out there, and watch out for the deception. And thanks for tuning in. And hope everybody has a great night. Thanks for having me.
Nice. And on that note, I'll see you guys later. See you on the next one.